The 25th anniversary of Friday night footy, this time under the roof at Etihad. Lindsay Thomas kicked the career-best 7 goals for the Kangaroos as they led at every change in the Friday night match against Carlton. For poetry in motion, it's hard to go past Cyril Rioli. Down in Launceston, he put on a show, kicking 3 against Adelaide and dazzling with his evasive skills.
Near Cyril Rioli.
Look out, he's got the magic back.
Cam Mooney and Tom Hawkins might have been sidelined, but the Cats had the J-Pod. James Podsiadly and Travis Varco booting 5, helping the Cats to a massive 71-point win over Essendon. The Swans again showed no fear for Amy Stadium or Port Adelaide for that matter. Adam Goods ran amok, kicking goals and generally doing all the classy things that Adam Goods does so well.
It's magnificent and he lets everybody know. Big goal by Goods.
Replacing a cult figure in Matty Richardson at Tigerland was always going to be hard, but in this round, Jack Riewoldt made the very big step. He kicked 5 against the Eagles in the first quarter and finished with 10.
For number 10, the new hero has double figures.
Over at Etihad on the same afternoon, Barry Hall was making his play for Coleman Medal honours. Half a dozen to the imposing Bulldog strongman set up the 11-goal win over the Lions.
Ball goes in and kicks the goal.
While at the other end, Fev was having one of those days. His big contribution was this perler. Not that it mattered, because the game was long since gone. 200 games up for Stevie Milne at St Kilda. He'd give the crowd at Subiaco plenty to think about too. A gallant Fremantle fight back was all but snuffed out when Farron Ray spotted Adam Schneider. Queen's birthday, Melbourne and Collingwood in front of a huge crowd at the G. An old-time grudge match that produced the thriller of the round.
A little awkward force for Sideburn. How easy was that?
Memories of that 1-point loss earlier in the season came flooding back, and the Demons, while brave, would be denied again, this time by Tarkin Lockyer.
The leveller, Tarkin Lockyer, drop punt is a goal. 76. Plays 76. Might just decide it.
And it's Morton with the big knock. Bate couldn't afford to fumble. Unfortunately, he did. Great contest. Morton goes and goes again, and the siren sounds. An anticlimactic finish to a sensational game. And at the end of it, it's a draw.
After 2 seasons on the bottom of the ladder, the young Demons were on the prowl, and some were brave enough to suggest they were ready to challenge. He was beginning to tell too. With back-to-back losses, he then had to face up to the resurgent Hawks in round 13. There were magic moments in 2010, few better than those provided by Buddy Franklin when the Hawks took on Essendon at the MCG.
It's a one-man fatwa. He's away, running down towards the 50. Can he do it again? Man running back towards the goal square. Needs to be closer. He can't bounce it through. He kicks it through on the full.
5 to Franklin, the Hawks by 16 points.
It's a goal. He's kicked a goal.
Tragedy for Carlton when it lost its young ruckman Matthew Cruiser, the knee croubling, the season over. Somehow the Blues came back from 2 goals 12 at half-time to challenge, but the Dockers could hold on. Brendan Favola played his 200th as the Lions hosted Richmond at the Gabba, but it wasn't one to remember.
Offhand, Edwards. The Lions season might have just died.
The young Tigers grabbing just their 3rd win of the season.
Oh, this has been a sensational performance, and Collins drives another one home.
Jay Schultz kicked 7 for Port when the Power met North at Etihad.
Best game of his life, Jay Schultz.
It wasn't enough though. Against the Kangaroos side that had Brent Harvey in sparkling form, his goal in the last quarter, a highlight in a 36-point victory.
Into 40. There's your sealer.
The Eagles fought hard but could not quell the Bulldogs on the Sunday afternoon finale, part 1 of the split round. A Mitch Hahn ripper would end their quest and help the Dogs to a runaway win.
Kick around the corner. He was looking for the top of the square. He's kicked the goal.
the grand finalists of 2009 met again at the MCG, the long-awaited game between the Cats and the Saints, marred by the wintry conditions.
Schneider's got a vacant goal square. It's going and going. Well done.
Schneider and Milne might have been castigated for their performances last September, but this night they were on fire. The Cats, in a lamentable performance, were held to just 3 behinds after half-time, their worst in a half since 1956. But this was a match that would be put under the match review scrutiny as Stephen Baker and Steve Johnson went head-to-head. Collingwood maintained its strong record against Sydney.
Side bottom, he takes his chance, and look at the result.
Chris Dawes cementing his role as a key forward with 3 goals in the 25-point win at ANZ Stadium.
And surely this time, Collingwood are home.
While Collingwood was relishing the trip north, Melbourne struggles away from home. The trip to Adelaide saw the Crows ease out of wooden spoon contention.
Yench again from 45, and he kicks another.
While Brisbane lacked the firepower of Favola and Brown, the round 14 game against Carlton at Etihad Stadium saw the Blues Mosquito fleet in match-winning form. Eddie Betts led the way with 5. Anyone who needed a reminder of the brilliance of Cyril Rioli just had to watch him in action in the thriller against the Bulldogs.
What about the skill here? Rioli did him cold.
He tackled ferociously and set the Hawks alight with a couple of gems. Hawthorn by a kick, making it 7 in a row.
Bends his back, goes long as the siren sounds. And we've just seen the best game of the season.
Fremantle took the points against Port Adelaide at a massive cost. Michael Barlow, the 22-year-old rookie who had set the club alight, breaking his leg. His season was over, and some were saying the injury would cost him the Brownlow.
Kicks it up high and long. Brown, Dawes!
Collingwood popped a pair of contact lenses into Chris Dawes, and the results were nothing short of amazing. The big bloke was seeing the ball like a pumpkin. He became a genuine power forward, and against the Eagles, he kicked 4 in the Pies' runaway win. At Amy Stadium, Essendon suffered its 4th straight loss, this time not only shut down by Adelaide, but kept to a humiliating 5 goals. Tippett with 6 virtually beat them off his own boot. With 505 disposals, Geelong set some kind of record at home as it disposed of North in clinical fashion. Podsy Yardley helped himself to 5, and the Cats led by 10 goals before allowing the Roos to kick 4 face-saving goals late in the day.
Goldstein! He's been everywhere.
Put some big timber up there. Oh, it's a great mark. Go in and kick your first one.
One of the more amazing games not only of the round but of the season saw Richmond rise from the dead to swamp Sydney and take the points.
Revolt kicks the goal.
When it came to courage, Collins delivered the knockout blow.
Bash, Crane, Roberts, Thompson, and Collins go down. Is that Newman again?
Wow.
Kicks to the goal square. Revolt, oh no, didn't need him.
There he is
again. They knocked him out a moment ago, and now he kicks his 3rd, and they're in front. Stanley sets himself. Spencer went up, couldn't control it. Off hands, Hayes.
St Kilda was showing ominous signs. Its 6th win in a row at Melbourne's expense once again highlighted the professionalism of a team hell-bent on redemption.
He could have been the hero, unfortunately, was a villain on the day, but he's been really mature in his approach to his career at the Saints.
For Mark Williams, this would be his last game as coach, and as the winds lashed Amy Stadium, Port looked like making it a dream exit as they put it 5-0 against Collingwood.
And then Roden's going to kick a goal. He's been really good in this first quarter.
It wasn't to be. When it was the Magpies' turn, they were awesome. They'd score 7 and go on and record a 26-point win.
Are playing for their place at the end of the year, and they're doing well. Brown and Lockyer, probably a couple of them. What a finish. Play of the night.
Doesn't hurt your chances.
There have been some wonderful recent clashes between Geelong and Hawthorn, and the 69,000 at the MCG were treated to yet another classic.
Chapman keeping his feet, Stokes, 3 goals in the third quarter, runs this in and bounces it through. His fourth.
Stokes kicked 4, Rioli was the maestro, and Footy was the winner as the Cats hung on by 2 points.
The siren's gone. He's missed. The Cats have done it again. It is the Cats by 2 points.
Nothing could separate the Crows and the Eagles for 3 quarters, but then Adelaide's firepower kicked in. A 7-goal final quarter with Kurt Tippett kicking 3 put the game beyond doubt.
He's going to win the game off his own boot. Kurt Tippett kicks 3 in a row.
Nick Riewoldt returned to the St Kilda lineup in Brisbane. He looked rusty kicking a goal, but as the Saints shrugged off the pesky Lions, his hamstring held up, and that was all that mattered.
McAvoy and the big ruckman kicks the goal, and that's the sealer.
The other revolt, the Jack variety, started with fireworks as Richmond faced Fremantle. While he'd kicked 5, it was an interchange blunder that saw the Dockers lose momentum at a crucial stage.
Free kick against Freo. Interchange infraction.
Oh, no.
Against Freo, so this is a goal.
After struggling as a key forward, Adam Goodes was thrust back into the midfield when the Swans met North at the SCG. Revitalised, the dual Brownlow medalist helped himself to 3 as Sydney won by 30 points.
And it's good to have him back.
Brad Green was enjoying a season that would ultimately win him his first best and fairest at Melbourne. Against Essendon, his silky skills saw him reap 5 goals in a 19-point win.
Green comes in and gets it. And he knows it's a personal best.
With stars at either end, the Bulldogs smashed Carlton in the twilight game on Sunday. Brian Lake was at his best in defence, while at the other end, Barry Hall booted 6 and topped 50 for the season.
Gives it to his mate Griffin. This is wonderful Dogs play. Griffin with a bounce, and the finish is there.
Ben Cousins would be hospitalised for taking one too many sleeping pills. Caffeine tablets were again under the microscope, and the most controversial man in football was on the front page yet again. Jason Ackermanis sacked by the Bulldogs in a very public execution. David Smorgon and coach Rodney Eade gaining the full support of the playing group as the Brownlow medalist was given his marching orders. Out at Essendon, Matthew Knights was still under extreme pressure too, but the power brokers were adamant that his contract would be honoured. We move ahead, round 16, and one of the upsets of the season.